Yeah, Marge is about the same as Irie. Her basic life recovery is going down by 4 points. Really, this isn't going to change much.
Mm-hmm.
And her physical defense at level 1 is also getting reduced by 4 points.
Yes.
And for Lubo, this is an interesting change actually, because if you guys remember, before his nerf, all 3 of his first skill dashes used to be 3.5, and then after they got nerfed to 3, he just fell completely out of the meta.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess they realized this, and the last charge, the one that knocks up on his first skill, will now be 3.5 meters again.
Yeah, that's
like how it
pretty
used
good.
to be. Yeah, I think that's a good buff.
Yeah, it's pretty good because before, like, people used to like go through walls, like join team fights pretty cool without using the flicker, and then use the flicker to chase down people. So now I think the same thing is gonna happen, just like season 1 and season 2, where Lubu was insane, like getting onto people. So that's gonna be awesome. As a Dark Slayer like player, I'm actually stoked for his buff. See how he's gonna turn out. And then here we have TeeMee, skill 1, Smelly Fart. When you hit an enemy hero, you basically get 40% off your cooldown, which is pretty sick. I think TeeMee is gonna be kind of broken again, because like when he came out, he was pretty broken. Everybody started playing him. Now if you actually fully charge up your first skill and you hit someone, your skill is gonna be 40% less cooldown. So that's gonna be pretty sick.
Yeah, it's honestly a pretty insane buff actually.
And yeah, here we have audio changes and stuff, so nothing much changing here as well, just some art stuff. So there's not much more to talk about. That was basically everything about the upcoming patch notes, but there's 2 big heroes that are getting a lot of nerfs that wasn't on this update because they received it way before us. But this update is gonna come out with our server. So Ignis is actually getting a nerf down here, if you guys didn't know. So his HP recovered from his passive when he marks a target is gonna go from 120 to 100, and it's gonna turn from +8 per level to +5, and it's gonna turn into half AP as well. And his first skill is gonna do less damage, from 340 go to 300, and his second ability, the stun time, is gonna be from 1 second to 0.75. And now here we have a Quillen nerf, and Zane is gonna take over and talk about that one.
Yeah, so his mini dash, Decimate, it's getting a small nerf. They're changing it from 350 AD to 300, and also they're nerfing the scaling by 1.0 to 0.8, which is, it's like an average nerf kinda. I think he'll still be very meta, just he won't be able to one-shot you as much. And also the ability 3, they're nerfing the HP regen by about like 30%, which is a pretty good nerf. Because before this, you could just ult twice. You could ult, get a kill, and then ult again, and you'd be back at full HP, which is, I guess, they noticed this and they want to prevent this. Because it really is unfair for an assassin to be able to do that.
Yeah, so I think these are the really biggest 2 changes that are coming up in the game for us, for the NA, EU, and Latin American servers, because this update was from the Taiwan server, but we also are getting this update as well, mixed with the old update that they got. So there is a lot of big changes coming out, and as you guys can see, these are the hero balance changes. So Kali, Natalia, Flash, Zuka, Arduin, Roxy, Emily, Tara, Arthur, Scott, Astrid, Irie, Lubu, TeeMee are actually getting a buff, and we mentioned and talk about those guys. We didn't get to talk about Roxy and Kali. We're gonna go through here and see if we can find anything on them, because there wasn't anything here on the Taiwan server for us.
Oh, also Anet right here.
Yeah.
Best Force is being nerfed. They're nerfing the damage of it, which is the small pool that she puts on the ground.
Yeah.
And they're also increasing the cooldown time, which is a pretty significant buff. And Wind Cuffs, the passive on it, I forget what it was. It's something like you're able to break out of CC.
The shield? Is that what you're talking about?
Actually, you're right. The shield, and they're giving that a higher cooldown.
Okay, so yeah. So Anet, Ignis, Richter, Ibanet, Marjo, and Quillen are getting nerfs. And some of them are big, like Anet, Ignis, and Quillen nerfs are pretty big. I think Ibanet nerf is actually pretty big as well. But we gotta see how it's gonna work out with the new support items. As you guys can see, Ormar is getting a revamp. And these are all the battlefield changes and the MVP display interface, victory and opening dances that we didn't really go over about. But yeah, that's basically all the changes, and let's just go over Kali because I don't want to leave anything out. So her passive, powerful hymns, the bullets are gonna change from 20 millimeters to 25, I guess. So it's a 5-meter buff per second. And who else? Roxy and Arduin. So let's do a search. Roxy. Here we have Roxy. Her maximum HP required to convert 1 point of ability to power is going from 50 to 40, so she's gonna use less power to actually get HP back. And then her first ability here is gonna be actually kind of like this. Is it the same? Oh, it's just getting a little bit of a more AP, so she's gonna do a little bit more damage over time, I guess. Her second ability is gonna change from 20% to 25%, and that's her shield basically. And the slowdown duration is from 1.5 going to 2 seconds, which is pretty cool. And the cooldown is gonna go from 12 to 10 seconds. Is gonna go to 10 to 8 seconds. That's pretty big actually. She's gonna get the shield faster and like be able to tank more stuff. And then Ignis Grasp is gonna go from 40 to 32 seconds to 35 to 27 seconds. Wow, that's pretty big. She's gonna be able to like pull people across the map. And with the recent buff, with the recent buff, she can actually get stunned out of it anymore. So that's pretty cool. And then Arduin, let's do a search for Arduin. How do you spell Arduin?
Arduin.
Oh, I guess there is nothing. Oh, there we go, Arduin here. So you want to talk about it?
Yeah, so they're buffing his attack speed that he gets per level from 2% to 3%. This is a pretty good buff, I guess, since he's a laner. I mean, of course, any extra attack speed will help him. And his passive ability, Bloodlust, where he regains HP from using abilities and stuff, that will be buffed. The cooldown time is reduced, which is also a really good buff. I'm glad to see that all of these heroes that used to be in the meta, like Roxy and Arduin, they're trying to bring them back.
Wow, the Bloodlust going from 60 cooldown to 45 seconds. I think that's pretty big actually. 15 seconds doesn't seem a lot, but when you add it up, like, it's kind of crazy because he's going to be able to heal everything back. Like, imagine like a Lubu as a Arduin, like tanky as a Arduin, like in a team fight, getting all his health back. So it's going to be interesting to see how he's going to play out. So the Taiwan server already has it, and I'm going to be actually looking around, see what the pro players in the Taiwan scene are going to be playing. And I think Arduin is going to be one of the heroes that they're probably going to be using due to the fact that the Bloodlust is getting a cooldown nerf, which is pretty good, going from 60 seconds to 45. But yeah, so I think we actually kind of covered everything. If you guys want a more detailed video about the interface and stuff, we could do one on it probably later on. If you guys want to, make sure to comment down below in Zane's video or my video. So this is going to be a two-part video. It's going to be two different parts. First part is going to be on my channel and second part on Zane's channel. So make sure to go check the description for the links. We're going to have it there. But yeah, we talked about everything, and now let's just go over everything once again and see like what are our thoughts on it. So after everything that we talked about, the buffs on these heroes, the nerfs, and the revamp, who do you think is the most affected hero on this update, and like who you shouldn't be playing anymore? Like, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah,
so let's say
Zuka and Flash, I think, are the most affected, maybe.
So
Zuka got a huge damage buff, it's insane.
Yeah, Zukar, I think his early game, and I think his early game was a little bit nerfed because of his passive. Before, you used to just go on top of people with his passive, like invade and destroy them. We gotta see how his first and ultimate are gonna work out with the AD buffs. But yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty strong. And then here we have the Lubu buff too. So yeah, I think Lubu, Scott, Zuka, and Flash would be pretty insane and maybe Astrid as well because of her ulti. But yeah, the nerfs on Quillen and Ignis are pretty big as well. I think Ignis is gonna be still pretty broken just because the nerfs are like not that much, they're like 50 damage. And Quillen I think is still the same, just a little bit of a damage nerf and health nerf.
Yeah,
but yeah,
for the nerfed part of this list, they all receive some nerfs, but it's not enough to make them out of meta. All of the heroes that got nerfed are still going to be popular.
Yeah, they were too broken to be like affected that much by the nerf, so not a lot of changes here. But yeah, so I'm gonna be looking around for the Scott. As you guys know, I play Scott a lot, so we might have a video or 2 videos for him coming out, and then Zuka probably as well. And then we're probably gonna expect videos from Zane playing Quillen. Quillen I think is like one of his favorite heroes, so make sure to check out Zane for Quillen gameplay. He's one of the best Quillens that I know. So yeah, we're gonna see how things are gonna turn out next week. So the update is gonna be on the 24th, I guess. Yeah, they told us next Thursday, so make sure to check out the game when the update hits the servers. There's gonna be a lot of cool stuff being added to the game as well, and I'm gonna have some slideshow photos for you guys at the end showing out the new MVP display interface and some of the dances and stuff from the Taiwanese server, so make sure to stay tuned for that one. But yeah guys, that was basically it, and thank you guys for watching, and here your boy Zane. Anything else to say?
No, I think that's it. I'm excited for the patch.
Yeah guys, that was basically it, and thank you guys for watching, and we both are gonna go get ready for Valor series tomorrow, and you guys have a good night. Bye bye.